let's put up those big questions that we always put on for our viewers to understand why this discussion, this issue is so important. First up, what does Carney's win mean for the India-Canada relationship? Next, can Carney repair the ties? Remember, they underwent their steepest decline, their nadir during Justin Trudeau and Jagmeet Singh combination's time. But can they repair from that nadir? Next, will India and Canada finalize a free trade pact? There are geopolitical headwinds, given the fact that Donald Trump, is pretty much breathing down Canada's neck. Will that be a catalyst? Next, how will Carney address the Khalistan issue? The Khalistani issue still is an important factor. Canadian politicians they've expressed that they have a soft corner for these separatist ideologies and extremist views. How will Mark Carney address this is another key issue. Ambassador Satish Mehta joins me, and we also have Don Patel to talk on that. Ambassador Mehta, to you first. The India-Canada relationship, Prime Minister Modi has congratulated Mark Carney. Mark Carney said that India is an important relationship that he would like to look at going forward. Where do you see this now going, and what do you think should be the milestones that we should now look out for?
Thank you very much. Let's just start with the elections first, and let's decode the elections. That's important. So, first thing is, of course, the Liberals have come for the fourth time in power. They hope to be there now. And that's almost unprecedented. The second thing is the vote share. Liberals in the last election, that was 2021 elections, had about 33% vote share. And now they moved to over 42%, so almost 9-10% jump. And that has come mainly at the cost of Jagmeet Singh's party, the NDP. Equally interestingly, the Conservatives have also increased their vote share from about 33-34% to over 41%. So you see a consolidation of votes towards two major parties. Bloc Québécois continues to get what it gets, little bit here, little bit there. The new party, which is sort of the MAGA party of Canada, the PPC, has taken a lot of drubbing from over 5% vote in the last elections. They have just a 1% vote. So you see consolidation of votes, at least in this election, to the two major parties of Canada, the Liberals and the Conservatives. The first thing. Second is very clearly, if you see the way things have progressed since the last few months, Conservatives were about 70 to 20% ahead of Liberals. And then the Trump effect happened. And first Trudeau and then Mark Carney stood up to President Trump. And I think that's what turned the tide for the Liberal Party. Mark Carney was seen, including Trudeau also.
Okay.
Was seen standing up to President Trump. So that's something to bear in mind. The third important issue, which I think once you get more details of the election Q1, how many of the Liberal members would have a pro-Khalistani orientation? That's important, because it's both not just...
Okay, I believe there's an audio issue. I'm going to try and address that. But Mr. Patel, let me come to you now. Some of the points that Ambassador Mehta made are extremely significant, that Mark Carney has gained on the back of the complete collapse of Jagmeet Singh's party and his vote base. The fact that he, of course, is very close to getting a majority of his own. The fact that Pierre Poilievre, his primary opponent, himself has lost his seat. All these do indicate a very empowered Canadian Prime Minister who will be empowered to take decisions that will be better for Canada and also ensure that the Canadian-Indian relationship moves forward. How do you read that?
Well, who would be more happy to see this relationship build in a so progressive way than myself? Because I was myself as a victim of this India-Canada relationship. This Khalistan factor came up. My ties with the Consul General over here, they portrayed me as an Indian agent, and that's how they removed it. So who would be more happy to see this relationship improved? And yes, as we say, Mark Carney is about to make the majority, even though his Liberal doesn't make the majority government. Even though there will be minority, he is indicating that he will improve the relationship with India. And bilateral relationship with not only India, but globally, what had become in last few years of this liberal NDP coalition has become a joke for Canadian in our G7 country also. So definitely hoping to see that is improving, but that is also takes in Mark Carney's hand to take the step forward, say what he is doing it, and he's showing the strength that, okay, I will be going forward and improving the relationship with Prime Minister Modi and his government in India. Coming forward, let's say whatever the Pierre Poilievre has lost his own seat into in his riding, and there will be speculation that by-election will come up, and the Conservative did gain lots of seats over here, so they'll be putting up the pressure to build up the relationship globally, especially with India. So we are seeing that all this taking, and Khalistan factor was definitely one of the big factor where Liberal was pushed to take so many decisions, which was not only in favor of anybody, but it was damaging the relationship with India. So going forward, we are looking at that progress, which Mark Carney will be taking further.
Indeed. Ambassador Mehta, then let me ask you, you've been able to decode the election results. Talk to us about your expectations of the first set of measures that you expect the Carney government to now undertake to repair the India-Canada relationship.
I think he will move forward to repair India-Canada relations. He had expressed that earlier too. Secondly, he's not a normal politician. He has been chairman of the Bank of England, Bank of Canada. He's more economist, a person who is not a normal politician, if one has to brand him. And so one expects that he will not fall into the Khalistani trap or this the silliness of all that, as compared to what Justin Trudeau did to great cost to India-Canada relations. Conservatives were very good under Stephen Harper. I was there when he was Prime Minister, and he gave no quarter to those who India haters at all. Pretty firm on that. I don't know to what extent Mr. Carney would go. That depends, as I said, upon once we know the detailed results of who won, who did not, and what kind of support he gets from, very likely from the truncated NDP, and who has won from the NDP side. So
NDP will be a non-entity, but I've got sir, there is a recurring audio issue, and I hope that we are able to fix this. But Mr. Patel, let me ask you the other factor. In the event that Mr. Carney still is a couple of seats short, ridings as Canadians call it, is still short, and he needs the support of BQ, the Quebec party. How do you think that is likely to shape his policies, given the fact that the coalition partner will come in with his or its own set of priorities?
Well, as we have seen, that Mr. Carney is not a career politician, but it never has been in a federal election before that this much a long lead has wiped out and somebody has arrived with just a short time and became a prime minister in Canadian history. So that shows people is believing in him, people is showing the strength in him, and he will come forward with the help of either Bloc Québécois or minority government themselves. But he is still a prime minister. He will take the decision, and once he starts taking the steps, improving the global relationship, especially with India and US, the support from other parties, I definitely see it will be start pouring in. Bloc Québécois, doesn't matter what they say, yes, they will have to get support. It's only 4 seats shy of Liberal getting into that. But even though what I think it is, even though it is a minority government, they form it, Mark Carney will take so much bold decisions to make the relationship better going forward or in favor of the Canadian public.
All right, I'll leave it there. Thank you so much, gentlemen, for joining me. And as we wrap this up, bottom line, viewers, is that Mark Carney is not Justin Trudeau. And there are 4 reasons why that is the case. Mark Carney is the one who led his party to a 4th victory that was unexpected, unlike Justin Trudeau, who was the reason for polls to be tanking. Second, Mark Carney is a successful economist, a banker who's expected to fix the Canadian economy, unlike Justin Trudeau, who sat over a housing crisis and economic crisis. Mark Carney also has made some very promising statements about the India-Canada relationship. He said he wants to repair it through mutual respect. Justin Trudeau was the reason why the India-Canada relationship tanked. And lastly, Mark Carney doesn't need Jagmeet Singh to be the Prime Minister. Justin Trudeau's party was led into power because of the crutches of Jagmeet Singh's party. These four reasons are enough to tell us that Carney's Prime Ministership will be nothing like Justin Trudeau. He will work on fixing the relationship, making it better. At stake are the 4.2 lakh Indian students who are in Canada, the 2.8 million diaspora of Indo-Canadians, and of course, a large, thriving trade relationship ruptured by Justin Trudeau and his petty politics. On that note, completely timed out on this edition of Canada Decides. Thanks so much for tuning in.